If you would ask me when I was starting out, I would definitely go for a franchise, and that was one of my goals. No? I wanted to get into a franchise. I wanted to franchise this, put this in an MRT station, and then just run it. There's been so many people asking what's the best business to actually start, and which is something that's quite good and quite interesting because it tells you the level of interest, at least from our generation, that we're seeing more people in their close to 40s. I'm 38 years old, turning 39 this year. For people my age, and I do know a lot of people that are following my channel are generally my age. They have cash, they have a stable source of income, either from their business or from their job or from their profession, i.e. you're a lawyer, you're an accountant, a doctor, that you're earning from what you're doing and you're actually good at it, and you already have savings, and then you maybe have some investments already, but you're trying to think about what's a good entrepreneurial route, what should I actually start? And you've heard a lot of people say that start a franchise, which is totally valid. I think one of the biggest advantages of franchises, there's a system involved, there's a brand attached to it already. People will gravitate into something that they already know. They know that there's a certain quality to it. Like, let me give an example. When I travel and when I'm in a city or a country that I don't know much about the coffee shops in that particular area, a safe bet for me would be for me to go to Starbucks, because I already know what I'm getting. If I order a grande flat white, I have an idea of what the taste will actually be. In the same way, when you go to a McDonald's store and you order nugget, wherever you are in the world, I know there will be some iterations of it, but at least you have a general consensus already that you know that this is the level of nugget that I would get here in Asia. If I go in North America, this is what I could actually get as well. So brand plays a big part for those who want to get a franchise. The amount of time that you would spend in marketing and for you to create awareness over a certain business, over a certain product, or over a certain service would be lesser. When you're starting something on your own, the systems are not there. Checks and balances are not there, especially if you're handling more people, handling something that requires a lot of inventory, that would require a lot of these things. Then it becomes a hassle, and mistakes could be made also that way. It will somehow give you the proper education on how to run a business, especially if you're not really the business person type, or especially if you don't have much exposure in it. If your goal is to learn something, if your goal is to be able to get into a business that you don't know much about, you're not an expert in, but you can rely on that franchise to give you not just the branding and the marketing, but the expertise in that certain field, then you can go for it. I would suggest though that if you're gonna go into franchises, then go for the established ones. Go for the ones that have proven and reliable systems already, that they're earning a lot also from the previous businesses or the previous stalls that they have also, not just because they are selling a lot of franchise fees. So I think that's something that's worth noting, that you want to go into something that is proven, that people actually like their product, that it has a loyal base already. That's why you're paying for that particular premium. I think one of the counterparts of getting a franchise, because it has a system, because it has a brand, because it has a leadership that spent years to be able to build it. The negative side of a franchise is it would be more expensive. You would have to pay royalties. If you try to balance it out also, and if you try to think about what if the franchise fee, I just use that money, started it on my own, it would be harder, but I would get it cheaper, and as I would get it cheaper, the mistakes that I would make as I get it cheaper would be my tuition fee, but I learned the process on my own. There are some businesses that are franchisable, but there are some businesses that you really have to start on your own because there's no franchise attached to it. So generally speaking also, there's no right or wrong. Of course, you have the choice to actually do two and try each iteration of it, then okay, but maybe you're wasting time, or you're wasting money and resources as well. You have to weigh it. If you would ask me when I was starting out, I would definitely go for a franchise, and that was one of my goals. I wanted to get into a franchise. I wanted to franchise this, put this in an MRT station, and then just run it. Then eventually later on, when I get better at it, start my own also, or do something from the experience that I got there. But if you'll ask me now, I'm leaning towards this side, that I want to just do something on my own and then get a franchise, because I can start something small, and as I start something that's small, I can just scale it up the way that I want, and I don't have to put in a large amount of money. You can actually do it while you're working. Be faithful, with your job. Then after that, that's when you run your business. And it's worth noting that a lot of the things that you can do right now that's entrepreneurial, you can do it online, you can do it Web 2 style, or you can do it Web 3 style. So if you're asking me also, where should be your focus in? I think anything that on top of the internet. Of course, Web3 will be a thing, but anything also that's Web2 right now, from fintech to e-commerce to streaming or anything that's a digital counterpart, there's merit to it. If you sell stuff online, there's merit to it. But you build something off the blockchain, highly connected to the metaverse, you build something that's connected to non-fungible tokens, I think that would work too. So if you're asking me where should you place a lot of attention, anything on top of the internet, but if you could build and scale something off of Web3, that's where I think everything is headed. It doesn't mean you start it tomorrow, but what I'm saying is you spend a lot of time learning about it. You spend a lot of time and double down and build the skills so you get better at that. In 2022, if you want to start a business, research, try to learn, try to be good at it, and as you start getting all of that together, that's when you actually start, and you start small. I hope this helps you. I hope that this gives you value. If you can start things on your own, go for it. If you have the capital and if you still have a job that can give you cash flow, then generally speaking, if the business does not do well, you have money coming in to be able to take care of your needs. If the business does not do well, you're not pressured also because the lights are still on because you have a job. The only time you quit your job when you've already found profitability or consistency from your business. The only time you quit your job is when you've already seen that this has the potential to replace whatever expenses that you have here. The only time you quit your job is when you actually see that I have enough savings that if nothing comes in, I'm still okay. And I think that's how you can actually approach it. That's how you can look at your saving and investing in general. If you want to learn more, we have webinars, books, seminars, more than 1,000 videos in YouTube to give you value also to learn more about it. If you've made it up until the end, appreciate it if you can like, share, subscribe, and smash the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing. So that's it for now. Marvingermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.